Internet. What's going on, everybody? It's Friday. Doing a little different video today. Got some ideas and am in search of some ideas. I realistically having a bit of an issue coming up with a real idea what I want to do with the 240. The 180 is already pretty much sorted out, if that makes sense. But I'm trying to figure out exactly some good ideas of fish or necessarily a setup that I want to think about before I'm, because we're approaching this thing being finished, the room being finished, and then being able to set up the aquarium. So I'm realistically trying to think about what I want to exactly get out of getting that tank set up and then figuring out exactly what I want to do with it. And so I'm asking YouTube to come up with some ideas. If you guys can comment down below and do all that, we can try and brainstorm some ideas. Some things I don't want to do. I don't want to do an arowana. They're really not that difficult to keep, other than from jumping out of the tank and keeping them fed. So that's not really something that I want to do. I also don't want to do a cichlid tank because I want to do something with plants. So I'm thinking along the lines of probably something that breeds fairly well and in an interesting way, and is also kind of non-threatening, I guess, if that makes sense, because then I could be able to actually kind of build on a community idea. Obviously, it's probably going to be pretty heavily planted, but I'm realistically just having some issues brainstorming ideas, new ideas for that tank. It's such a big tank, it doesn't really have any limitations as to what I can put in it. I don't want to put skates or rays because obviously I want to have plants in there. And then as far as the other tanks that are going in, most of those are already laid out, so I think I've got that pretty well figured. There will be a reef tank in the mix. There will be like I said, the 180 will actually be heavily planted again, and most likely going to a dedicated shrimp colony, though I gotta find some good quality shrimp, somebody who's providing good quality shrimp to get the colony going again. It's a real downer that they all died, but it's also given me an opportunity to kind of think about what I want to do moving forward. So maybe I'll end up doing something like King Kongs or the green version of King Kongs, which escape me right now. I can't remember the exact name of them, but we'll probably be going that direction. And then the pond outside, that's going to be most likely ornamental koi is probably what we're going to do out there, because that'll probably be the best use of the water volume and interactivity. If we did like tilapia or that kind of stuff out there, I think realistically they're not that interactive of a fish. I mean, you could feed them and stuff, but large koi kind of have a pretty good personality when you get down to it. And then obviously we have to worry about them being eaten, which is always an ongoing concern. We seem to have a lot of coyotes around here, but we don't have a ton of raccoons that I've noticed. I haven't seen very much raccoon activity, so I'm not going to be super concerned about that whole situation, but I'll be able to keep them protected. And of course, when we do the pond build, I'll show you how I'm going to do that. You can actually kind of naturally protect your koi pretty easily with the scape, how you set up the pond. It's pretty easy to do that, and we'll be going over that. But the main call to action today is to get some ideas on what to do with the 240. It's such a big tank. It's such a big display. It's going to be right in the front of the fish room. It'll be the first tank that you see going in. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around exactly what I want to do with that tank and how that whole setup is going to go. So hopefully with the creative minds out there, you guys can come up with maybe some fish ideas or whatnot. I'm probably looking in the range of middle-sized fish, not stuff that's tiny and ornamental, because I can always set up a smaller tank for tiny ornamental guys and stuff like that. Obviously I don't want to do giant plecos because just honestly kind of a boring fish, but I'm trying to figure out some stuff in the middle-sized fish, 4 to 6 inch range is kind of what I'm thinking about. But I realistically just need your guys' help to come up with some ideas. I need some brainstorming time, and being so busy right now, it would be a huge help if you guys could chip in on that. Would be that'd be a big deal, I guess, right? So that's what's going on. Today is Friday. We got more projects going on with the build out in the fish room, pouring the concrete, finishing the paint, hanging the door. But we're pretty much getting down to the point where we're going to be able to start moving tanks, and I hope to be able to do that this weekend. We may or may not hit that mark, but that is the goal. I hope to move some tanks this weekend. And speaking of this weekend, Saturday, tomorrow, the 22nd, is the big Greater Seattle Aquarium Society auction. I'm not going to be able to make that auction. I just got too much stuff on my plate, and I'm not going to be able to go there. So anybody in Seattle that wanted to come hang out and shoot the shit, as they say, I'm not going to be able to be making that, but hopefully I'll be able to make some auctions and some other events at some point. Who knows? I generally can't ever make them. I end up making myself so busy that I can't make it. But that's what's going on today on Friday, the 21st of 2017. Tacoma is bright and shiny and sunny and awesome. But I know that weather will not last very long, because the weather guy said it's going to start raining again, probably Sunday. So might as well soak up the sun while I got the time and get out there and get some work done. So that's what's going on today. All right. Later.